Today we're going to be talking about parallel compression, also known as New York style compression. If you want to use this to thicken up your drums and possibly your vocals, it's a great trick. Let me show you how. Hey everyone, today we're talking about parallel compression, also known as New York style compression. One of the coolest things about this trick is it can help enhance your sounds, make them thicker, make them more prominent in your mix, make them a little bit more upfront. Definitely got to be careful in setting this up. There's a few ways you can do it, but the most common way is to use a send and return. You could also just do another track and mix it in, which is similar to exactly what a send and return technically really is. Or if your compressor has a mix knob, you could get away with doing it that way. So I am just going to show you how to do this on drums and vocals. You could try this trick on other things. I've heard of people doing parallel compression on their mix. I've also heard of people using parallel compression in their master, but I personally don't do that as a mastering engineer, and I wouldn't advise it. I don't think that's a function of mastering. I think parallel compression, and this is my opinion, is a mix function. So let's get into parallel compression. Parallel compression is an effective way of improving your dynamics. A lot of modern mixes can benefit from this technique because of the available dynamic range available to you. And if you missed my video on dynamic range, I will leave you a link. So as I stated in the beginning of the video, parallel compression, also known as New York compression, was, you guessed it, developed in New York. It was originally a trick to make your drums bigger. Back in the day, what they would do is they would take the drum track or the drum bus, duplicate it, run it through a compressor, slam it, and blend that slammed compressed signal in behind the drums. And I'm going to show you how to do that and set this up so you can use it in your productions. So when would you use this? Maybe if your drums lack punch or some clarity, it can help bring out high-end transients. It can also help bring out low-end punch and boom or oomph into your drums and give you more of a boomy feel. The beautiful thing about this trick is that we're leaving the original transient information intact and blending in a super compressed signal, therefore giving that overall mix more definition, more power, just more full, essentially. So let's get into setting this up. Here I've got a disco drum loop, very basic, just from Splice. What you can do is, I already had it sent, so as you see I've set up a return track and I put a U80 Teletronics. If you missed my series on this, I'll leave you a link, go check that out. Some of my favorite compressors. You could use any compressor technically. The goal is that you want to slam it. So for example, if I send this all the way and I hit the peak reduction, then I'm going to gain this up, get these about right. So this is now muted with and without. You can hear how much the transient information pokes through. It's bigger, it's more in your face. Now what you could do is you could just blend this in. And then that's before and after. And you see how hard I'm pegging that. So if I was to, another thing I would suggest that you do actually is take this and send it pre-fader. Let's make that pre-fader right there. So this is going to ignore the volume that I have here. And you can really hear the difference when you do that. So like I said, I wouldn't blend it in that much. Now this is on a full drum loop. So if all of your drums were bussed to say a drum bus group, you could bus you could just send the whole bus over to the parallel compression bus. You could essentially also individually tailor the sends of each drum hit if you were to send it individually. But you got to be careful with that because you could be altering the mix itself, because you've got all your levels set for your drums, and then if you send, say, the cymbals lower than the rest of the kit, you might have a different feel, different swing, different groove. It might just affect the sound a little bit, so be careful. I think it's probably more common to send everything at the same send level to the parallel compression and then just gradually bring this up. Pay attention once again to that pre-post switch, because if you leave it on post, the lower this gets, the more that you're going to have to gain this up. And so if you just do it pre-fader, that's a good way to send the whole signal without the fader. And now you've got the full signal going to the parallel, and you can adjust this as needed. So once again, this is before and after. That's a little extreme, but it does work. Let's try it on some vocals. Here, I'm going to bring this back down, and I'm just going to put it back to somewhat of a nominal level. And I'm going to play this vocal and send it all the way. Once again, it's already pre-fader. You can hear it right off the bat. Let's slam it. So here's before and after. So parallel compression is a great way to get things in your face. And I have a client right now that's trying to get things in his mix in your face. This is a great trick for you to try. Other things that I would discuss with parallel compression is there's another way to set this up. If you wanted to, you could duplicate this and take this same thing and put this here. This would give you the same essentially effect. You'd slam it and gain it up. I personally like to do it in my send and returns because I think it sits better there. I could see that there's a parallel chain and I won't confuse it with the tracks in my mix, and then I could just send everything that I need to do it to it. There's another way to set this up. There's a third way. So just for the sake of confusion, I'm going to get rid of the return track. And I'm going to use the UAD API 2500 bus compressor. Another one of my favorite compressors. I love this thing. I love the color. I have not done a video on this. If you are interested, let me know in the comments. I did do a video on the API EQ series by UAD. So if you want to check that, I'll leave you a link. So let's get into using the API for parallel compression. What you can essentially do is do the same thing here. And I've got the drum track loaded up. Let's go ahead and slam this. I'll leave the attack and all this the same. And I'm not here to talk about how to use this compressor. You get tone controls. You get a lot more controls than the LA 2A, but purpose of this, show you parallel compression. So what you do here is use this mix knob, which is essentially blending in the compressed signal with the dry signal. So here's before. And then you could actually play with the shape if you wanted to release a little more so that it's following the drum pattern. Maybe leave some of the transients in there. Try it again. Before. So you can really see that it adds some character. You could do the same thing with the vocal. Let's check this one out here. And I'm going to slam it. I'm going to go ahead and leave the ratio the same. I'm going to do a sharper attack, quick release. Before. So you can see it really does add some character. It's subtle sometimes, but it can really bring things up to the top or just make them fat in your face and give it a more defined presence. So this is parallel compression, also known as New York style compression. I hope this helps enhance some of your mixes and music productions. Thank you for watching this video on parallel compression, also known as New York style compression. I hope it helps you out, and if you have any further questions, be sure to shoot me a comment down below. My name is Freddie from Distinct Mastering, and if you need help with your mastering, be sure to check out the link below for a free stereo mastered sample inquiry. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and the bell notification will keep you up to date. Now, thank you again, and have a great day.